Welcome, and thank you for your interest in the Center for HIV and Research in Mental Health. The CHARM Research Navigation Portal is a comprehensive platform designed to streamline access to CHARM services. In this tutorial video, I will walk you through the steps to create a unique password-protected profile, create projects, request consultations and services, and report your outcomes. And I'll end with a couple of tips to make the most out of the portal. So here's the landing page of the portal. Here you'll be able to see if and indicate if you are a returning registered CHARM Research Navigation Portal user and have already created your profile, or if this is your first time and you would like to create your profile. I'm going to go ahead in this case and say, no, this is my first time here. Next, you will fill in a couple of details, your first and last name, your email address, and your telephone number. Please note that this email address associated with your account is how the CHARM team will be in contact with you and where you will receive a copy of your initial access information, including your user portal link and password, and all of the consultation confirmations and follow-ups. So make sure this is a good email for you to have on file. Next, you will be prompted to create a strong password. Users can create any password that you like. But if you would like to have a password made for you using Norton in a new web page, copy the password Norton creates and then paste the password into the box above. So I can go ahead and click here, copy this, and navigate back, paste it there. Thank you for registering. You will next be routed to your user portal where you will continue your registration. I'll go ahead and hit submit. On this next page, every form that we use is password protected with this initial password that you create. Upon creating your initial, providing your name and providing your email, you will receive an email to from the CHARM Research Navigation Portal where you will get a copy of your user link and the password. Since I already have just copied this password, I can go ahead and paste it again here and move on to the next step. If you didn't have it already copied, you could navigate to your email to check out that. On this next page, I will be able to complete my registration by filling out my user profile. CHARM may utilize this information as we link you to support and services, and please note that you can navigate back to edit this information at any time from your user profile or your user portal, which I will show you how to do. So the following information, my name, email, and phone number have already been associated with my profile based on the initial access page. So I'll just complete the additional details here. Today's date. I can input any roles and affiliations here, any institutions that I'm affiliated with. This is optional, but you can provide a brief bio, including a description of areas of work you would like to highlight. So I might say mental health and substance use, or something like this. And then finally, we have a menu of options for characteristics that may describe you. This is a check all that apply menu option, and you'll see that some of them you can select as many as you want. Some of them will pop out for additional support and services depending on each option. So for community members, we will offer additional support in walking through the portal and fielding any questions, especially if this is your first time using the portal. For students and trainees, we would like to know faculty mentors. So just be sure to indicate any of these that apply to you, which will help us understand really who's utilizing CHARM services. Thank you for creating your CHARM Research Navigation profile. You will next be routed to your profile page where you can create and manage your project. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this here. And this takes me directly to my unique user portal. So this portal is unique to me. It says, welcome back, Renee. Thank you for using the Research Navigation Portal. This is my unique landing page to create and manage projects, request consultation support, and report outcomes. We do recommend that you go ahead and bookmark your unique portal link, and I will cover this a little bit more in the tips and tricks. It has a note about password protection. This is really just so that any of your forms can remain password protected just to you, and you are able to always find your password in the email that was sent. You can always re-trigger it to be sent to you. So I'll walk us through that. And then finally, if you need help, you can watch this. There's a link to watch this tutorial video and take a look at frequently asked questions on the Charm website. So here are some details that are associated with my user profile. As you saw, I put on the last page. So my name, email, roles and affiliations, which I did not complete, so it's blank here, bio or areas of interest, and my other characteristics. If I wanted to update this information at any point, let's say I wanted to update and provide a role in affiliation, I could, in fact, edit the response here and say, I'm a senior research associate in the Department of Public Health Sciences. Go ahead and submit that. And my information will be updated live here on my profile. The next function that I will show you is how to create a project. So next to my project, I will go ahead and begin the survey. Here it explains that here I can create or manage a project. In this case, I am creating a project from scratch. Please enter as many details as possible to help us understand the scope of the work and who may best help you. You will be able to request as many consultations as needed for this project by accessing the Request a Consultation button on the user portal. So the first step is to create the project, and then I can come back again and again to request consultations for that same project. When I'm creating the project, I'll go ahead and include today's date and include a project title. So this asks for a short, unique project title, which will allow us to link your consultation request, link this project to your consultation request and the outcome reports. Please do not include any confidential information here. And then we just have listed some examples. So DOH HIV project, which I will just put in here now. Stigma manuscript, youth mental health survey. There are a number of ways that maybe you could just identify your unique projects to you. Next, we ask about the life cycle kind of phase of your project. We will ask this at initial project creation and every time that you request a consultation and report an outcome to see how your projects evolve over time. Maybe I'm here coming now just during the conceptualization stage of this project that I want to propose and I would like support on it. Please provide a brief description of your project, a description of the scope, objectives, or abstract, if applicable. Again, you can always route back to this page and update as your project evolves. But this will just really help us understand the project as we're routing your consultations and understanding too the types of projects that individuals are requesting support from Charm. Here we have a couple of menu options to help us further identify the scope of your project. So first, do any of the following characteristics describe your project? And it notes here we use these characteristics when reporting on the projects we've helped with. So for example, we may have projects, or in our reporting tables, we may count the number of HIV related projects or the number of projects related to disparities and or equity research. So these are just ways of capturing those characteristics. Then we have the geographic scope of the project. You can go ahead and click here, and then you could specify the range and locations. Which options best describe your role on the project? So maybe I'm a collaborator. And then please indicate which of the following describe your project collaborators. I may have external investigators, which I would be able to explain here, community partners. If I select Charm members, I will get a drop-down of the Charm members here. So this would be a very long list if we really listed everyone who is a key contributor, significant contributor here. So we've listed the directors and co-directors of each of the Charm cores. And we've also included here our other Charm members, significant contributors, and key personnel for your reference. And you could go ahead and select other Charm members here. But it's really important that we identify who on Charm is kind of working on these projects and see the large network of not only where you're getting support from, but who you work with. And here you would be able to also specify the role. So maybe Dan Feaster is the biostatistician. If applicable, please provide the grant sponsor or target grant sponsor. So again, this example, I was interested in conceptualization, but perhaps I would like to submit to CHARM and we have specific CHARM mechanism here. Otherwise, maybe it could be NIH. And then I would be able to target or indicate the target NIH institute and maybe the grant type here. If this project has been assigned a grant number, please enter it here. Of course, right now in conceptualization, I don't know this, but later on I may have a grant number and could route back to this project and enter it here and just provide these details. Finally, as a way to capture if this is the first time this project is interfacing with CHARM or not, if it was maybe in the old intake system, we ask, have you ever received support from CHARM or CHARM members on this project before? This is a simple yes or no. And if I say yes, we just ask that any details you can provide would be great. You don't have to, but you may say, from Dr. Belize from the methods core or any information here, or maybe I received a manuscript review or something, just to understand that any other kind of touch points that your project may have had with CHARM. Finally, we just have, this is for administrative use only, the project counts. This is my first project I'm ever creating, so it's just going to automatically update my title, my DOH HIV project, and add a 1 next to it. This will just help us to ensure that there are no duplicate project names across your profile. And I'll go ahead and submit. And now I can see when I scroll down that I do have my project, number 1, the DOH HIV project right here. And at any point, I could go back and edit a response, provide a grant number, or anything for that project. And as I create new projects, you'll see them be added to the list here, and you can always see kind of how many and which projects you've already created. So the next function I'm going to walk us through is requesting a consultation. So I'll go ahead and begin this survey. I'm walked through some instructions here, and it does ask that when applicable, ensure you've created the project you will request help for by clicking create a new project on my user portal. So we just did create this project, and this just helps us again to see the relationship between how many consultations and which services kind of accumulate to support a project through its life cycle. I'm going to go ahead and provide the date, and then it asks me, is this consultation related to a specific project? I'm going to go ahead and say yes. And then my project, the DOH HIV project number 1 that I just created, will show in the dropdown here. Did I find my project in the dropdown below? Yes, I did. If I had said that no, it's not related to a specific project, I can in fact skip all of those steps and jump right into who I need support from. But this is just a way to help us link all of your consultations to projects. Please select the project grant number. In this case, I didn't put one in because it was in conceptualization, but if I had listed one there, and as you go, adding your projects and other grant numbers, you can select it here. And it also helps you identify over time if you had created a project in conceptualization and now it was awarded, you may not find it in the list if you hadn't put it in originally, and it will help indicate that it could be added on the other page. Again, here's that life cycle question. So I am just submitting my consultation request right after I created my project. So my project is still, in conceptualization stage, but maybe I come back later and I'm in active study. But this will just help us again watch the projects as they kind of evolve over time. Here is a list of each of the cores and a description of some of the services available within each core. Now, this is kind of the bread and butter of the CHARM Research Navigation portal. This mirrors a lot the intake form that we had previously. But here you can identify what CHARM can really help you with and let us know, and we will coordinate support for you. So we've broken and color-coded each of these into individual cores to give you a snapshot of all of the available services. And then I can go ahead and select as many cores as are applicable. So maybe I need help from developmental core and the equitable implementation science core. these will each drop out into another menu of options where I can specify specifically what I need help with. In some cases, these options and these services will pop out links to maybe other information or resources on the Charm website. So just keep your eyes out for that. And we also note that it is common for consultations to cover more than one area. So to not be shy and really just share all of the different ways that you need help. This will help us understand too, really which services are being utilized. Then finally, we ask that you, or to kind of round out your consultation request and the context, we ask that you provide a description of the assistance needed. This will help us understand how to best help you. And also, if you are maybe a returning consultee and you've been meeting with the same person over and over for a series of consultations, you could go ahead and just say, I need to meet with Dr. Feaster again to review my measures. And that will just kind of streamline the process, and the coordinators can then just link you directly to Dr. Feaster. Also helpful is providing a timeline of when the consultation or service is needed. And you can go ahead and state the best way to get in contact with you, whether that be phone or email. At the end of our consultation form, we have here for your reference the P30 grant number of Charm. And this is just so we ask that you please acknowledge the support in any publications, presentations, or proposals if Charm had a hand in kind of supporting your work and reaching one of these milestones. And additional details can also be found here, which links out to a description of the grant number. And I'll go ahead and submit. And again, I see that my new consultation request, the DOH HIV project, on today's date was created. And I can go ahead and request another consultation on the same project or a new project at any time. So the next function that I'll walk us through is reporting project outcomes. I'll go ahead and begin the survey. Here we are requesting outcomes, and we ask that you provide as many details as possible to help us understand your project's progress and how Charm may have impacted or supported your project. I will enter the day's date, select the project that I want to work on, and maybe I'm coming back 6 months later and now I'm awaiting my submission results. Or maybe I'm in active study phase. I mean, whichever phase that now my project is in has some subsequent drop downs to just ask maybe about routes of dissemination and next steps and things like that. I could also say that the project is abandoned, I'm no longer working on this project, and then we would not follow up for the outcomes reporting anymore. But maybe now I'm in active study phase. If applicable, how was or is this work being disseminated? So maybe through publication. And if I go ahead here and put maybe 2 publications, I'll have the option to list the title and DOI and link for the 2 publications. Conference and presentation, I could put any details here. Seminar and workshop, similarly. Please describe how this work was, is, or will be disseminated to communities of interest. This includes investigators and members of the community. It may be slightly different, it could encompass or be slightly different than publications and conferences and these more kind of traditional routes of dissemination here. It could be a community event or a webinar or something like that. What is the current status of your active project? So kind of providing more information where you stand right now. What year are you in? Are you recruiting? Are you in the field? Just providing kind of an update in addition to the stage of the project up above. Please provide a description of what has happened with the project since initial creation and any next steps as applicable. So maybe I'm awaiting some my results, or maybe I'm just embarking on recruitment and my next steps are to do X, Y, and Z. I could include this information here as much as possible. Please tell us how Charm has helped you with this project. These impact stories really help us understand the center's reach. So, and we will include appropriate examples in our annual reports to NIH. So maybe Dr. John Smith helped me to get linked to the community and really, identify great partners um, to inform my work or help with recruitment. Just things that are in addition to kind of like the routes of dissemination and next steps. These are kind of really those impact stories of how Charm supported you. We will also ask about your satisfaction and recommendations. So here on a scale from 1 to 5, how satisfied are you with Charm services? And then do you have any recommendations for Charm as resources or services, as far as resources or services you would like to see offered? And we could go and enter that here. At the end, again, when reporting your outcomes, a reminder to please acknowledge Charm. Fast forward a few months, and you will notice that as you go adding projects and consultation requests to your portal, it will not show you automatically each of the projects. By default, it will list the latest one submitted. So here I'm on project number 3, and this is my 3rd consultation request. In order to see a list of all of the projects that I've created and all of the consultation requests submitted, I can simply click at the bottom here, View All, and it will expand the menu to showcase all of these options. And then I can go editing the responses for past projects, take a look at all of the consultation requests submitted, and get the full view of all of my interaction with the portal so far. So I'm going to just walk us through the scenario that you will access the Charm landing page and you were already a registered Charm Research Navigation Portal user. So instead of saying that this is your first time, you will say, yes, you've already created your profile. If you click yes, this indicates that you will be directed to End Survey and be routed to access your user portal link. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes and end the survey. Here is an interim page just explaining that you've explained you're a user. Here is where you can be directed to a page where you can find your link. And we note here that you are on your honor as a registered Charm researcher to only navigate to your user portal. And we indicate here to please remember to bookmark your user portal link to avoid having to complete these additional steps to navigate to your portal each time. But in case I forgot to do that, I can go ahead and find this web page here, which is listing emails and the associated user portal links. This list may get very long over time, so I can go ahead and filter down to just, add in my email address here, and then it will show me the email associated and my user portal link. And then here I'm back to my link. So I did share that I was going to include some tips and tricks at the end to make the most of the portal. And the first tip I will share is to bookmark your user portal link. If I go ahead and bookmark this page, which I've done right here, and I've labeled it My Charm User Portal, then next time, maybe in 6 months, I'm coming back and I really need help from Charm Services. I know that I made an account at some point. I don't really remember the details, but then I remember I did bookmark this. So I can navigate to my bookmarks and it will take me directly back to the portal. Maybe at this point I have forgotten my password and I kind of lost the email that I was originally sent with the details of my link and my password. I can just go ahead and say forgot password, trigger it to be sent to my email, and now I'm ready to submit a consultation. I have my link and my password was routed to my email. And let's say I'm coming back again to request a consultation on this DOH HIV project, which I remember here, I've already created this project. So I can go ahead and request a consultation. I'll put in my password here that was just emailed to me. Simply fill in the date, indicate my project, and say, maybe now I'm in dissemination stage in manuscript development, and I would like to meet with the methods core and just write up the analysis section. I need to meet in 2 weeks. You can reach me by email and submit. And then I can just log out. So truly, that is how simple it is to navigate back to your portal from your bookmarks. And you can just kind of request consultations. When you're coming back, you don't need to include any other information about your profile and who you are. And if you've already created that project, you can just simply request a consultation for it, and then you will receive to your email a copy of the consultation confirmation sheet, and the coordinators will be notified of your request and get in touch with you as soon as possible to coordinate your consultation. So the final tips that I will share have to do with a couple of accessibility items. So you'll see at the beginning of every single form, we state in the upper right-hand corner, there are buttons to change the font size and to turn on the enable text to speech. So here I can go ahead and increase the font size and make it a bit bigger or a bit smaller. And here, this little sound bar says enable speech. I can go ahead and toggle that
My project.
and click to have every item and every option read to me as needed. And I can go ahead and toggle off at any time. And then finally, the survey queue item in the corner also just gives you access to review what's on your platform. So if you are trying to come up with a project title here, you were wondering, what are the other project titles I've created? And you can just kind of get a quick look here, or go ahead and click these and navigate to another form as needed. It's just a quick way back to your survey queue. And with that, our tutorial video comes to an end. I hope this video was helpful in demonstrating the different functions and how to best use the CHARM Research Navigation Portal. If you have any unanswered questions, please visit our CHARM website and the Frequently Asked Questions page around the portal. And you can also reach out to us at charm@miami.edu or reach out individually to any of the team members, and we're happy to help you get set up with a profile and set up your access or recover a password, manage your projects. And we really look forward to helping you coordinate your support from CHARM, and we look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.